short. It's a mark to Zaharakis. Zaharakis has kicked a goal. The Bombers are in front of the G. Unbelievable scenes here. David Zaharakis, after all looked lost.
Anzac Day was the furthest thing from the players' minds as they prepared to tackle the Blues. And tackle they did.
Kicked out wide for Carazzo. Lonergan into his back. Advantage.
But I think it's the best game that we've played in a long time, certainly since Hurdy's been a coach. If you get your players, the 22 players that take the field with that intensity for the whole duration of the game, you're going to end up with a pretty good team and win most games.
Got his boots on it, now gathered by Ryder. Playing very well at the moment, Essendon, with some composure. Watson.
Yeah, the midfield was awesome. We had a lot of good players on the day, and it was just a really good team effort. Everyone made a contribution. Everybody played the way we wanted them to play. We had a different plan to play Carlton. There was a few little subtle changes in how we played before, and they carried it out really well.
Kick on its way. Crammery goals. That's the ball game, and his fifth.
Well, he's just had another pre-season. He, being a rookie player, he played some really decent footy last year, and he's just got that little bit stronger, a little bit fitter, more confidence, apart from his goal kicking in close. A bit of a problem, but no, he's just showing a lot of natural improvement, and I think there's still a bit of upside there.
Crammery the give to Delolio, his first touch in AFL football, wrapped up by Henderson.
It's a great way to start your career there, right in the sort of melting pot of the forward line.
Yeah, it's great having kids come in and make their debuts and given opportunities, and his family come over from Perth. They were really excited, and he not only did he play, it was a bit of unfortunate he had to be the sub, but when he got on, he did a few little things that were quite nice, and look, we obviously recruited him for a reason because we think he can play.
Just been told by Hurdy that I'll be getting the gig this weekend to play against Carlton. Pretty overwhelmed at the moment. Spent 3 years playing senior footy over at South Fremantle WA, and now to play at the MCG against Carlton on Saturday is just an amazing feeling. I'm really excited about it. This is the jumper I'll be wearing on Saturday at the MCG. Absolutely honoured to be playing with this jumper, and I just can't wait to get out there at a big club like Essendon. It's going to be really exciting. I've heard he said just to back myself in, he first said, how are you feeling? You're right to play this week? I went, yeah, and he goes, oh, well, we're actually going to play against Carlton, so it was a nice shock.
We've come over to see Corey's first game on Saturday against Carlton. Very exciting, very nervous as well. When we got the phone call the other day, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't work anymore. I sort of had knots in my stomach, and just to sort of think about him playing his first game against Carlton in front of about 85,000 people, not many kids can sort of do that, you know what I mean? And it's amazing.
And Delolio on for his first run in senior football. His family have made the trip over from Perth. What a proud moment for him.
Sprint does well, tackle terrific, Delolio. The first gamer, a big tackle in the context of this match. This time, Henderson does well with his body. Delolio on debut. Almost. Well, Murphy just telling the first gamer what he thinks of the afternoon. The first gamer will be a part of the side that hunts and captures 4 points this afternoon.
Oh mate, it was brilliant. Once I got out there after half time, it was just amazing, just the atmosphere and that, and lucky enough to get a couple of touches, which was good, and yeah, the feeling was brilliant. The first 10 minutes, so I think I was running around like I had a stroke for a bit, maybe just getting the pace of it, but then once I sort of got a couple of touches, I felt like I was there, so it was good.
There was little time to celebrate, however, with just 4 days to rejuvenate the body for the biggest home and away match of the AFL season.
Yeah, the boys have pulled up really well. Their legs are feeling quite good this morning. We've done extra recovery last night. We've obviously, with the short turnaround that we've got going into Collingwood on Anzac Day, we've had to really emphasise the recovery procedures we're doing this week. So the guys' feedback this morning is that they're feeling very good. Legs are pulled up probably best than they've pulled up in the last 3 games. And obviously this being the 4th game, they're getting better and they're getting used to the loads, which is great. This morning we're using the hot colds again to get the flushing effect and aid in the blood flow to the muscles, while also taking down some of the nervous system activity to allow the muscles to recover. Next couple of days we're going to follow a different schedule than we usually follow. Tomorrow we'll have a light run at the club, do our usual weight session, followed by some meetings that we usually go through, and then Tuesday we'll go through another meeting, and yeah, we'll get one run this week before Anzac Day. We used yesterday's as a main training session, which is great.
James Hird is our studio guest on the Hangar again. Now, both clubs have the same amount of time to prepare for the match, so how much can recovery and rehab really contribute to the end result?
I think it's the major thing on the day. The side that recovers best over the 4 days from Saturday through to Wednesday will be the team that wins, in our opinion. There's no chance of getting any work or extra skills or even any extra confidence into your players. It's all about making sure that we've got more legs than Collingwood on tomorrow, and if we do, we're a good chance.
How much of that also is mental recovery, and it must help that you're 4 and zip with that mental relief?
Look, the mental relief is a huge part of it. I think the one thing that we've tried to do this week is make sure our guys are at the club enough that we can recover them and tell them about how Collingwood are going to play and get ready for the game, but also get them away from the club and get some downtime that they're not still on a high from the Carlton game and into the Collingwood game. You have to come into a low somewhere, and we've tried to get that in early in the week and some time off so that when they come into the Collingwood game, they're excited about it.
Why is that so important to be able to distinguish between footy and non-footy time?
I just think that you can't concentrate on footy the whole time, and if you tried to, from Saturday night, try to think about football up until Wednesday at 2:40, then you'd be tired by the time 2:40 came along. So there has to be downtime, and that's the balance. Get enough work, recovery into our players, and also have them relaxed enough that their brain gets a chance to switch off. We heard Bomber say a little earlier that he thinks it's the best win, that win over the Blues in your time at the club. Would you agree with that? Look, it was very pleasing. Yeah, I'd have to say so. I mean, the Geelong victory last year when we'd lost 5 in a row and probably enabled us to make the finals last year was a really important victory for the club. And since that game against Geelong, we've sort of kicked on a bit. But, against the old rival in Carlton at the MCG when, we were unbackable in terms of, to lose the game, it was very exciting. Before we look at the team, Michael Hurley is out with a hamstring. Yeah. How serious is that, and how long will he be out for? Look, it's not serious. This is the third quarter when we're just trying to test how bad it was. He actually felt something late in the second quarter, and it wasn't much. And I think we're talking there about what we thought we should do, and just thought we'd pull the pin and give him a couple of weeks off and get him ready for a game in 2 weeks against West Coast. We think that that's probably a better thing to do rather than risk him and put him out for longer. He headlines a growing injury list. Most of them are hamstrings. There's a couple of calf injuries on there as well. So soft tissue injuries. Are you confident now that you've had all these that you can get back on top of things? Yeah, look, we are. Carl Hooker obviously played last week. Michael Ross is an ankle. Brent Prisner with his knee. Scotty Gumbleton are back, and they're ones that aren't soft tissue. But next week against Brisbane, we've got Nathan Lovett-Murray coming back, Courtney Dempsey coming back, David Myers coming back, and Mark McVeigh coming back. So that will severely be reduced in a week's time, which we're very excited about. And Jake Carlisle, as you can see, coming into the team for Michael tomorrow. Really a like-for-like player. Jake's a very exciting forward-line player, and he's got a big job tomorrow because I thought Michael's game, particularly in that second quarter, was excellent.
As always, your votes on the Essendon website decide the True Value Bomber of the Week, and once again, Dustin Fletcher has made the shortlist.
So the boy from Leongatha, he was thinking about going long. A long ball, a really long ball, a very popular kick from a very popular man.
Brent Stanton's 36 possession game, a constant highlight.
Target, long ball, Stanton's down there. Well, the Bombers' last 5 scores were behind. Brett Stanton fixes that.
And Stuart Cranberry's 11 scoring shots for 5 goals, too good to ignore.
Takes it, kicks forward to Cranberry. He's going to run in and kick his 4th.
Stanton's all-round brilliance won on the day, and congratulations to Daryl James. who correctly selected the number 5 as the TVB and now is in the season-ending draw to win a $3,000 True Value solar energy system.
James Hird.
On this Anzac Day Eve edition, the coach and his players explain what makes April 25th such a special day on the AFL calendar.
Incredibly special day and one that you're really privileged to be a part of. And you know, we really love playing it, we love being involved in it, and I think that the AFL community love the spectacle that the day is. It's a really difficult thing to describe to someone what it's like when you're standing there and the Australian flag is being raised and the last post is on and you're in the middle of you know, the MCG and there's just silence around you except for the trumpet playing. To have that crowd, the crowd were so quiet, and just listening to that the trumpet, and it brings back a lot of memories of all the diggers, and yeah, it was pretty special.
You could actually hear a pin drop. It's actually crazy in such a big area, and you know, it's probably exactly what it feels like to play in a grand final. You know,
you got goosebumps, hairs stand up on the back of your neck. It's yeah, it's a sort of an emotional time.
Both teams go through the banner together now, so it's you know, it's sort of you sort of finally feel like the game's about to start, and the build-up is sort of over, and now it's starting to get into the actual game mode. And you know, the first thing you notice is the size of the crowd and the noise that they make when you run out. So immediately that sort of hits you.
Hearing the crowd start lifting, and then that first initial smash through the banner, and then the crowd just goes crazy. So I suppose, you know, the hairs on your spine start jumping, and that's when it really starts kicking in, and you're actually playing an Anzac game. And yeah, I don't think I've ever had a feeling like it. So.
On that occasion, let's see how much the young Bombers have improved and how they can handle the moment which is before them.
I thought, you know, this is going to be pretty good, but I didn't expect the 90+ crowd that turned up when I ran out for the banner, and it was a pretty big day.
I reckon it still takes probably 5 minutes into the game to actually realise you're playing a game of football and not just, you know, out there spectating like the rest of them.
Every bump, every tackle, every chase, and it was just, the crowd were just riding it every time.
He goes short.
There's a massive roar when goals are kicked, and it's just it's exciting, and it's real overwhelming at times as well.
The Bombers are in front of the G.
As it becomes, you know, really close and tight, you feel like the crowd gets more and more involved, and you notice how big the crowd is by the last quarter.
David Zaharakis puts Essendon back in front.
To be the only teams that play on Anzac Day is a huge thing, and especially there's only 2 teams that do it every year, and you know, Essendon's lucky enough to have that chance to do it.
Every year it's such a huge highlight of your career to play on Anzac Day. Incredibly special day, and one that you're really privileged to be a part of. And you know, we really love playing it, we love being involved in it, and I think that the AFL community love the spectacle that the day is.
The Bombers have won it! They have snatched victory from the jaws of defeat!
Some pretty great stuff there. James Hird, you grew up in Canberra. What does Anzac Day mean to you? Because I imagine you had plenty of school excursions to the War Memorial. My school was actually next door to the War Memorial, so our front yard almost opened up on the War Memorial of the house I lived in. So it was yeah, a very special day. There was always the Anzac Day march and service
going up Anzac Parade in Canberra, and it was huge. So, yeah, it was a very special day.
Kevin Sheedy wrote an article this time last year saying there was one thing he knew as a coach on Anzac Day, that you would turn up and own it. Did you feel something extra special about playing on Anzac Day?
I don't think any more special than anybody else. I just really enjoyed the day. It was a great day, and you felt very privileged to play, as all the other players have said it. And our first child was born on Anzac Day as well, so it's a little birthday party for her every day, and it wasn't a great day to go home sad because we'd lost, so I just tried a little bit harder to make sure we had a win that day.
And 3 times you could take home an Anzac medal to give her to wear on her birthday.
Yeah, it was very special. So, yeah, it's just a great day, and I think it's our greatest national pride, the day of national pride, and to be able to play in front of so many people and enjoy yourself in the middle of the MCG was fantastic.
James, when people say it's like a final or like a grand final on Anzac Day, what does that mean? Because it's not really a final, but there's certain things that...
Look, I think the crowd's similar to a final in terms of the noise and the passion that's in the crowd. It certainly hasn't got the consequences of a win or a loss like a final has, but the build-up and the media hype and the atmosphere is very similar to a final. But look, the game is secondary, I suppose, on Anzac Day to the actual day, and it's very rare you can say that in football, that the game is secondary, but there's no doubt the day takes precedence over a game of football.
Well, time now for our home truth question, and it is from Luke. James, what is your most memorable single Anzac Day moment?
I think probably when we won in 2000. We, it's been a tough couple of years myself personally in terms of football on the field, and to be able to come out and play well that day and have a win as a group of players, and it just kept that year building, and it was just one highlight in a great year.
Well done too. Luke wins the Antler luggage prize pack, and that is valued at $500. Well, James, your family's been away, I understand, in Europe. They're about to come home.
Yeah.
That must be good for James Hurd, the coach, but you obviously, as a dad, would be missing them.
Yeah, definitely. The kids have been away for 3 weeks now, and so has my wife Tanya, so it'll be great to see them again tonight and have them back at home.
Good luck, and thank you for joining us.
Thanks so much, Sarah.
Up next, a remarkable story of an almost Anzac Day exclusive career.
The Anzac Day for me is obviously it holds something to my heart. I played reasonably well in the seconds the week before, and straight after the game, she said to me, "Big fella, you're in." I'm Matthew Banks. You might not remember me, but I played for the Bombers in the 90s. My games total for the Essendon Football Club was 3. 2 of those games are Anzac Day blockbusters, including my first game that had over 85,000 people.
Welcoming Banks in his first game of league footy.
I originally barracked for Essendon as I was a kid, and I was drafted in 1995, which was the first year of the Anzac Day clash against Collingwood. And from then on, it just grew from there, and obviously it's very quickly, it was the biggest game of the year, bar the grand final. The first memory of that game was when the bugle was being played and everything was quiet, and you could hear a pin drop. In the lead up to the Anzac Day clash, I was earmarked to play Anzac Day. I played reasonably well in the seconds the week before, and straight after the game, she'd said to me, "Big fella, you're in." Right before the siren, Sav and Anthony Rocker tried to get into me, and being a young guy, thought they could suck me in, but Dean Wallace soon fixed that and laid out Anthony Rocker and gave away a free kick, and that really, rather than put me off, that just showed me that it was just a normal game and it was just a real game, and it really calmed me down a lot.
Bang the full forward, Rocker's in the box in. Banks, well done.
I didn't really have to do too much homework on Sav. Obviously everyone knows what a great player he was then and continued to be, so I knew that I was called a bit of a gorilla and I was playing on a gorilla, so all I needed to do was try and stop him.
Judged it a little better, then kicks towards the brother in the full forward area. Knocked away from Severio Rocker.
The day I got my game was because Dustin Fletcher was out, and I got the call up really, and he's still playing today, which is quite amazing. I really can't believe that I played in those days way back then and he's still going.
Wild's kick towards half-forward. Well done. He backed himself, came out and marked it nicely on his chest, did Matthew Banks.
So my third game was Anzac Day once again. I'd been injured the end of 1997 and came in, called up in 1998 and played on Sav, and I actually got injured in the 5 minutes into the third quarter. I went for a little bit of a specky that was 2 minutes too early, so I flew through the air and accidentally landed on the shoulder, and away we went from there.
He's just got to stay behind and jump at these young banks. He's trying his heart out down on Rocker, but he went far too early.
Yeah, these days I finished obviously playing football. I worked in events for a long time, and in the last couple of years I've been financing mining equipment. The Anzac Day for me is obviously it holds something to my heart. I go every year. I'm actually in New Zealand this year, but I'll always go to Anzac Day and just remember back in the late 90s that I was a bit of a flash in the pan, but had a bit of fun and an experience, amazing experience that not many people can say they've had. So it's something that I'll cherish forever.
We should go to Japan.
The city is actually ridiculously big, mate. I think she's trying to marry off her daughter. Good fortune in future.
Regular fortune. So we just come into a restaurant right next to the fish market, so this is all fresh. It's cooked, I'll eat it. No good, mate.
After a nutritious, warm breakfast, Jake and Zaka finally made it to Yakult HQ, where they received a standing off. The men were keen to get straight back to work. The girls, on the other hand, loved Mr. Melksham.
Cheese.
And the tour guide was impressed too.
Oh, he said you guys are very slim and handsome.
The lads were lucky enough to meet Mr. Kawabata, the number 3 man in all of Yakult worldwide, before a tour of the Central Research Division. After a hectic day, Zaka found the perfect place to relax.
And the goal of this is to help the researchers relax their minds, so help improve them with their research here.
That's great. I just want to say thank you to you guys for your hospitality today. It's been great. Me and Jake, I'm sure, learn a lot about Yakult and about how the product's made and all the very different range of products you make. All right, let's go. The call was pretty good. It's a bit interesting. I think we better get back to training.
Yeah, I know.
Next week, after a 10-day break, the Bombers prepare for Brisbane. And footy from the fans' perspective.
To see the improvement that they've had over the summer and to see what the future's going to bring.
This has been a Fox Footy production.